While private caregivers may seem like a less expensive and more flexible option, there are some major risks that families may not be aware of, and today we're going to talk about the differences so that you have a clear understanding and can make the best choice for your family. Hi, my name is Dawn Bransky, and today we're going to talk about the differences between working with a private caregiver and hiring a non-medical home care agency. So let's talk about the cost. So typically, a private caregiver is going to be less expensive than an agency. And it seems like a great idea in the beginning, but you have to understand that a private caregiver does not have a license with the state, so they don't have those expenses. They also don't have insurance, which is a pretty significant expense for an agency. So if something happens in your home, then you have no protection. Whereas if you have an agency and a caregiver breaks something, or they wreck a vehicle, or there's some sort of accident, then you are insured by the insurance that's provided by the agency. If there's theft or there was anything stolen, you're also protected in that manner. Another thing to consider with cost is if you're doing a private caregiver, all of your payment is out of pocket. Typically, if you have long-term care insurance, they will not reimburse you for a private caregiver. They will require that you use an agency so you have all of those protections that I just mentioned. Number 2, background checks and vetting. One thing to consider when you're hiring a private caregiver is, have you checked their background? Do you know their history? When you're hiring an agency caregiver, we're required to do a state background check annually. We're also required to make sure they're not on a do not use list with the state, to make sure they have no record. Our agency not only does the state requirement, but we run a national background check twice a year and a motor vehicle record to make sure that your loved ones are being cared for by someone who has no history and is not a threat to the safety of your loved one. Number 3, scheduling and backup support. So one of the most important reasons to go with an agency versus a private caregiver is scheduling. Scheduling would be your full-time position if your loved one has round-the-clock care. Typically, you're looking at 6-7 caregivers managing their care, and if someone calls out, you have no backup support. You'll be on the phone calling the other caregivers that you have working privately to see if anyone be available, and otherwise you're providing the care. With an agency, we guarantee coverage. Not every agency guarantees coverage, but our agency 100% guarantees that your loved one will not go without care. What that means is, if we have a caregiver call out and we cannot find a replacement, our manager that's on call will come out and work the shift themselves. So you can rest assured that you will never be without care. Number 4, oversight and management. So once you're talking about scheduling and you've got all of these wonderful caregivers working in their home, who's providing the oversight? If you have a private caregiver, you are their oversight, you are their supervision, you are making decisions based on the quality of care that they're providing. With an agency, with our agency in particular, we have a team of care managers whose sole responsibility is to ensure that the caregivers are providing a level of care that is a standard of excellence for Benevolent Hearts Home Care. So they're coming out every other week in person to do a supervisory visit and ensure the care is meeting those standards. They're also coming out to do orientation. So if you have a caregiver that's never been to your home and worked with your loved one, they will come out and do an orientation so that you don't have to be present to give them a tour of the home. Having a care team providing oversight allows us to ensure that the care plan is followed, that we've worked so hard to develop in collaboration with your family. Number 5, training. When you hire a private caregiver and they're coming to work in your home, the training that they have is the training that they walked in the door with. When you hire an agency caregiver, we're providing not only training at hire, but we provide ongoing training. We have weekly dementia training classes, and we require ongoing training each year to ensure that they're maintaining the highest standards of care. For example, the training that we provide here at Benevolent Hearts Home Care is quite elaborate. We have a training room with a hospital bed, a bedside commode, a Hoyer, a wheelchair, and we provide hands-on training to ensure that the caregiver not only is proficient, but can provide return demonstration to ensure that they are confident and able to handle your loved one with all of their mobility needs. To learn more about working with us at Benevolent Hearts Home Care, please go to beheartshomecare.com.